right, everybody. Thank you very much for sticking with us. I am nearly lost his voice 24, still alongside Mr. Sin for the win. Sin, one series in the books, one finalist having secured their spot. Surprise, surprise for Lunda. Back in the finals. The question now, who will join them? As mentioned, it could be hREDS for the third season in a row. Or maybe, just maybe, Granit will shock us all and spark here what would be the most incredible comeback I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. From 3-1 down against a defending champion team when, in the first two games you didn't score a single goal. I think the kind of narrative would be absolutely impressive if Granit was able to pull that off. But hREDS, they've got that killer mentality. They're here and they're looking to end this probably right in this next game. They're going to come out hard. Granit's going to have to be ready. And we got to kind of ask, are we going to see the Granit that's, willing to improvise and who pulled off, that last win in this series? Or are we going to see that Granit, of the first two games? I think that Granit's still sort of trying to figure out their identity, and this is a tough place to do so against hREDS.
I'll look at the bracket, and as things stand, again, hREDS 1 win away from making it back to the finals. Again, you would have seen a little bit earlier in this broadcast, again, for Lunda winning Game 5 and securing their series over Färjestad. I'll look at the results that we have had in this series so far between these two clubs with the latest results that we have here. And Sin, I mean, again, first two games of the series, very one-sided in favor of hREDS, but yesterday, two closer games.
Yeah, and Granit definitely had that pushback that they really needed. 5 goals in 2 games played. One of them being in overtime, sure, but that was big. And hREDS didn't really run away with anything. And that's important for Granit. They kind of kept themselves close. They're inching their way back. They're kind of looking like Goons was looking in that first round. They have to do that here, and they have to find a completely new level, a level that we haven't seen before. Ekin kind of has always had that, but it's about a couple of these other guys on the team that need to kind of get up towards his level of just being able to throw pucks on net when they need to, make something happen out of nothing.
Again, all of this leading to our Elite Division final. Again, we know one half of that matchup, these teams playing for one of the largest prize pools in that we have seen so far. Again, very interesting to see where they are at now. Again, for Lunda securing at the very least one of those top two prize pools. We'll see who else is able to make it there. Again, our Elite Division finals will be here on on the 4th and 5th of March, a 2-day event as we look to crown a new champion. And again, a little bit later on in this broadcast, we should be able to bring you coverage of our Pro Division playoffs as well. The semifinals currently underway. Of course, the finals for the Pro Division coming up on February 28th and March 1st. So make sure to tune into those broadcasts, of course, right here on Sports Gamers. And for now, we will get into the matchup at hand. Again, hREDS looking to end this series. And as we get a look at the team stats to kick things off, they were dominant in the regular season and have barely slipped up and barely changed the course here in the playoffs.
Yeah, they've been tremendous. There's really kind of no other way to put it. They got into a bit of penalty trouble yesterday. But for the most part, Granit, only I would say in that second game, they made them pay a lot more than perhaps in that first one. So hREDS definitely going to have to be a lot more careful about taking penalties now, because I think that's their really only weakness and the one kind of window that Granit needs to sort of start getting their way back into this one.
Get you guys to look at the lineups here now. Of course, the 6 that you would expect for both sides. It is Ekin, Zovi, and Antonio Mannin for Granit up front. Furian and Lemanins on defense, and Roysto in goal. For hREDS, Villapoica, Benito, and Nikki Dangles. Domi and KingOfApes for the defensive side of things, and phase between the pipes. And Sin, as always, we will throw it to that center comparison first and foremost. Zovi had a decent day yesterday, still under a point per game. Does have that slight edge in face-offs over Benito, but obviously the points are very much in his favor.
Yeah, Benito's just, his point production is just off the charts, as it so often is, especially in those clutch kind of situations in the playoffs. And yeah, again, the face-up percentage hasn't really affected him. He was just sub, 50% in the playoffs. He's sub 50% Sorry, in the regular season. He's also sub 50% here in the playoffs, but it doesn't seem to matter because even off of those plays, it's just Villapoik and Nicky Dangles are always in the right position, kind of counteracting the way that if he does lose the face-off, this is the likelihood of where that puck's going to go. They could force turnovers almost immediately off of that. So really, I mean, it hasn't been too much of a detriment. That being said, it's a very close battle between him and Zovi so far in the draws too.
Moving over to the winger matchup next here. Friendly reminder for those of you as well, the prediction up in chat. Make sure to get involved in that front. But it is Ekin and Antonio Mannin for Granit Gaming, Villapoika, Nicky Dangles for hREDS. Sin, what numbers really stand out to you here the most?
For me, I mean, it's, kind of still Ekin leading the way. Antonio still sub point per game, but he was kind of getting better. A little bit, Villapoika has been, I guess, quiet compared to the regular season where he was just on a ridiculous pace. And Nicky Dangles is really kind of, jumped ahead and had himself a tremendous series, especially and on all sides of the puck. But Villapoik and Nicky Dangles, they're on the upper level. They are, on tier with, the playmaker and Eki combination. They're forging their own kind of way. They're becoming, the new kind of forward pairing to really, really watch out for.
Again, earlier on, you heard from our colleague, Mr. B Major, as he was able to conduct interviews with two members of the teams from the prior matchup. He's back again. He was able to speak with Ekin earlier today. Let's throw that interview now.
All right, we are here with none other than Ekin, left winger for Granit Gaming. Ekin, hopefully all is going well, and thank you for taking the time to sit down and chat with us here before the game. Something that was a big talking point before the first few games especially was how hREDS was able to keep you guys at bay offensively, despite you guys being a really solid scoring side all season. After being able to kind of see them for 4 games, especially as you guys seem to kind of start to get some momentum there in the end of game 3 and throughout game 4, what about them do you think makes them such a tough team to be able to score against?
First of all, thanks for having me. I think just their team play is really good. They work very well as a unit all over the ice, both in the forecheck and in the trap. So yeah, that's probably the main thing about them. And of course, topping that off with one of the best goalies in the scenes makes it really tough to score on them sometimes. But yeah, like you said, we started to get going in game 3 and game 4, so hopefully we can keep doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's actually a perfect segue into our next question here. Despite that rough start you guys had, you did seem to kind of gain that momentum, even being able to steal a game 4 win, extending your season out at least another game. Was there a feeling, considering that there was that game 4, knowing that you were down 3-0? Was there almost kind of that feeling of playing a little bit looser considering the circumstances? And if so, how do you feel that helped you guys?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Like I think going into game 4, we kind of felt like, maybe not try to focus as much on strategy as we've done, and just try to, play more on our instincts, and maybe pressure them a bit more higher up than we usually had. And I think we got some turnovers from them by doing that. So yeah, for sure. And I think we're gonna try to have the same mindset going into the games tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and that seemed to work out for you. And actually, our last question goes into kind of that mindset. We got to talk with Furion yesterday, and he mentioned how you guys really want to focus on just enjoying the moment rather than trying to focus on playing with the feeling that you have to do certain things to win this game or meet a certain expectation, so to speak. Considering you guys do find yourselves down 3-1 coming into this game with hREDS on the other side with a chance to go to the finals, how do you feel that kind of mindset helps take away some of that added pressure as you look to pursue a comeback?
Yeah, like going into these games tonight, we're for sure gonna have that mindset. All pressure is on them. They're the number 1 seed, and we're the number 7th seed. So Yeah, it's the ECL semifinals. You know, you don't play these games often, so we're gonna try to enjoy it as much as we can, and yeah, hopefully extend the series a few more games as well.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And once again, thank you again for taking the time to sit down and chat with us. It's always fun to kind of get to talk to the players and pick you guys' brain a little bit on how you feel things are going. But before we go ahead and wrap things up here, is there anything that you'd maybe like to say, whether it be to viewers or to any of the fans watching or even to your opponents?
Not really. Just hope that you've enjoyed the series so far, and yeah, hopefully we can make it even more exciting. Make it even more exciting tonight by extending the series a few games.
Well, I know hREDS might not agree with me, but I'm all for more exciting hockey, my friend. Ekin, thank you again for taking the time, and best of luck, you guys, tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Again, Sin, great to hear from Ekin there heading into this matchup. Again, he has been crucial to their success so far, to say the absolute least.
Yeah, absolutely. He has been phenomenal throughout the season, throughout these playoffs, especially. You know, really, I've always called him the catalyst of this team, and he really it seems to be whenever the team needs to get some momentum going. He kind of senses it and makes a good play. As speaking of getting some momentum going, Lehman and starting to get the point scoring going. I think he was yesterday only had 2 points in the playoffs, got picked up 3 in the couple games yesterday. That's great for him. He and Furion love to jump into the play, and they're going to need to keep getting those offensive guns going to extend this series, because you look over there at Domi and KingOfApes, 9 points and 6 points respectively. They are always huge parts of that hREDS offense, and they got some big ones yesterday.
Absolutely. And again, we kind of talked about that all season long, the difference in offensive tactics that we saw from last season's Färjestad team to now this year's Granit team. And offensively, maybe not as much output as we've expected from Furion and Lehman's in the past. And then again, you mentioned him on the other side, 2 phenomenal defensemen. Domi getting into a little bit more penalty trouble yesterday than I think he was hoping to do. That said, again, one more interview to throw to with B Major. He was able to speak once again to KingOfApes. Let's see what he has to say before we get this matchup started.
I am here once again with hREDS, one of the defensemen for the defending champions. Firstly, hREDS, thanks again for taking the time once again to talk with us here. You guys find yourselves up 3-1 going into tonight, a chance to close out the series once again. And something I find so impressive about you guys is that despite being a really confident group that isn't afraid to show that confidence and have a lot of personalities to you guys really do a great job at taking a business-like approach to every game, and you never really seem to waver in that, no matter what the success or what situation you guys are in. How much do you feel that mindset helps you guys in a situation where you guys have had so much success so far, like you have this playoffs?
I think we have very competitive mindset what comes to every period. I usually say to guys that we have to try play our best period in the season next one. So yeah, I think our mindset is about winning at the time, but uh, we are in that point that when we lose, it feels very 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 bad. Like after game 4, it felt like not lost the series, but it was like, damn, could have that. But yeah, I think we that gives us motivation to find the ways to new ways to win games and focus what we can do better next time. So I think it's very very big reason why we are playing this good.
Yeah, I love that. And you kind of mentioned just meeting that expectation for yourself. That's something that's so high. So that's always really cool to hear, especially kind of like getting to hear that from you with how well you guys have played. And speaking of how well you guys have played, it's been a spectacular playoff run so far. There's not really been many flaws that we've seen from you guys, but the one struggle that we kind of have seen is that tendency to take penalties. And we kind of saw that a little bit yesterday, unfortunately. I noticed it's something that you even said yesterday that you were looking to improve on, even kind of pointing towards yourself to try to stay out of the box a little bit more. What do you think the reason has been behind some of those struggles in terms of taking penalties, and what's something you guys are looking to do to improve on it?
I think it's about the current meta of the game. Like I think we have the lowest hit numbers in regular season, so we use the active stick very very much, and because of that we may get some easy penalties, and we have to talk about them a lot. Like as you see, yesterday we may sometimes take very much penalties, so that ain't good. But we are trying to do something about it. But I think we're always gonna be the team that takes much penalties. But so far our penalty kill has been has been good because of how much practice we got. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So we just need to find a way not to take those easier penalties, and yeah, that's kind of all.
Yeah, and you guys are actually one of the better PKs in the regular season too. So you definitely, despite getting into some of that trouble, you've done a great job in finding ways to get out of it. And last question for you here: you guys are right where you want to be in this series. You're in a pretty favorable position to close this out. And we mentioned earlier, Granite kind of stirring back a little bit in game 4. They were able to get that win. Maybe not necessarily taking momentum in the series, but starting to gain momentum for themselves after what was 8 straight shutout periods for you guys. Is there any sense of maybe urgency going into game 5 that you guys want to assure that they don't get themselves back into the series? Or is it more of a business as usual approach to where it's just any other game?
I think to game 5 we need to really step up. Our game 3 and 4 wasn't that good. I think we played better in the game 1 and 2. So I think we have kind of chip on our shoulders, uh, to improve that game to the where it should be. And like we are just thinking the game 5 will be so important. We don't want to give opponent any momentum going to game 6, and I think we just need to wake up and play better. We did make some stupid mistakes, and I think we just need to play good 60 minutes, and let's see what happens then.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And firstly, like I said, thank you again for taking the time. Always fun to get to hear your perspective here, being one of the better players in the community. And before we throw things back over to Tugi and Sin, is there anything you want to take the time to say here? The floor is yours, my friend.
Well, not really. It's just I'm trying to focus and play better. I am not that happy how I played yesterday, so mainly just focusing to be better and help my team. And yeah, maybe I can say to Granit that good luck to the games, and let's just have fun and see what happens.
Hey, man, that's what it's all about. Good competition and fun. King of Apes, thanks again,
Yeah,
man. Really appreciate it.
yeah. Thank you.
Sin perhaps a little bit more critical than I was expecting him to be, just kind of mentioning how frustrating it was for them to have dropped a game in this series.
Yeah, and kind of I really kind of like their interesting take on their penalty trouble. They do have a very very low amount of hits. Their penalty comes from those stick infractions, and they're very very active with the sticks, with pokes, with defensive skill sticks, and that's kind of their meta. That's kind of all at times a lot of the meta of NHL 22 to force those turnovers. So they don't really mind that they're taking a few extra penalties. And as he said, their penalty kill is very good with all the kills, with all the practice that they get as we are checking out these goaltenders here. And again, another tight battle. Roysto has done a great job in this matchup here. And, phase numbers have dipped a little bit, but overall, still in a great spot.
Absolutely. Again, Roysto, not the most underrated goaltender in the world, but I think this season reminding people just how strong of a netminder he can be, especially now for a playoff team. And then again, on the flip side, we have praised FaZe at every opportunity, and rightfully so, with what he's been able to accomplish now over the past few seasons. Odds are, if a team is going to lose today, it's not going to be because of a poor performance by either netminder. Sin, we are just a few moments away from puck drop, game number 5 of this best of 7 series. Again, the winner of this series will move on to take on Frölunda in the final. We'll stick with this for as long as is needed for us to get there. For Granite Gaming, though, I mean, I think you kind of heard from Ekin, right? It's certainly a one game at a time kind
Yeah.
of approach at this stage. That's really the only way they can view it.
Yeah, it absolutely has to be. But I think, at the same time, they need to play every game like it is their last game because it very well could be for this season. So yeah, you want to take it one game at a time and not think about the task in front of you, but rather in that moment. But you still want to have to play with that sense of urgency. It has to be in the back of their mind. They need to kind of harness that kind of feeling, that energy from it, be able to, put their, one foot in front of the other and try to stay on their toes here in this game because the second you get back on your heels, all of a sudden, hREDS will get multiple minutes straight of time on attack on you, and it can be very tough to come back from that sort of pressure.
Absolutely. So again, just a few moments to go. Again, a reminder as well, pro division coverage likely coming up as you get a look at the teams there. Pretty much everyone with the cam on, as of course we'll get a look at the reactions. Certainly, of course, for the hREDS lobby, seemingly keeping it pretty light right now.
Yeah, absolutely. As they're trying to loosen up here, but I guarantee you, the second that game comes on, they're all scooting forward in their chairs, ready to go and hungry for that W. I mean, they're a perfectionist style team. They're always looking for things to improve upon, always looking to clean some certain themes up, and they lost the game. They're not happy about it, plain and simple. And it's kind of crazy to think about that, but that's sort of the kind of standard that they hold themselves to. They want to be the first team to repeat, and to do that, they believe that they need to keep getting better, keep improving, and play near perfect. And at times that means not dropping a game.
Again, we mentioned it, the Pro Division coverage as well. We'll get you a look at that bracket here in a moment while we wait for these two teams to match up. Again, one of these two teams, or one of these four teams, and of course, whatever one of the two, the two happen to be in the finals, of course. One of these four teams will make their way guaranteed to the Elite Division next season. Reality Check currently trailing Stargazing. Yippee Voskala and Arctic tied at 2 apiece. Good chance you will see some coverage of that series here on this broadcast this evening, depending on how our Elite season or elite coverage here, in the semifinals happens to wrap up. So still a lot to be decided. Of course, the Pro Division final this upcoming week, February 28th and March 1st, the 2-day event there. And then again, Sin already, we're closing in on it again, the Elite Finals, the 4th and 5th of March. Again, our winter season just about done, but of course there won't be that long of a break. The spring season will be coming up not too long afterwards, heading into the end of March and beginning of April. So keep an eye out for that. The teams there matched up. Sin, I mean, it's been one of those things that we wish we could have talked about a little bit more, but the meta be the meta. Playmaker, a puck-moving defenseman, elite edges, your secondaries, kind of you change those up based off of your play style, but what the competitive teams view as necessary, a must-have, certainly the elite edges.
Yeah, that's just kind of always been the European style of the puck possession, and you want to be quick on your feet and more agility based than raw speed based. Is a lot of oftentimes we see on the NA side of things is a lot more kind of speed, and that kind of lends itself to those rush plays. Some of those dump and chase plays as well. But good to really see the dump and chase coming into more than just kind of a triviality here in Euro, where you'd see it busted out every now and again when teams were kind of desperate. We're seeing it more as a fixture for a lot of squads, and I like to see that. The game keeps evolving, the meta keeps shifting everywhere, but those builds remain the same oftentimes here in the Euro scene.
Again, these teams just about ready to go. Excited to see how this will play out. Will it be one and done for this matchup tonight? hREDS need just one more win to secure their spot in the finals. They are the defending champions of the ECL Elite Division. One win, and again, it will be the third straight matchup between them and Frölunda in the finals. It is incredible, Sin, how quickly that changed from the Havu Frölunda final to the hREDS Frölunda final. Which again, we are one win away from seeing that one more time. Puck drop. hREDS in their home red. Surprise, surprise, and an offside call just 16 seconds in. That might be the fastest offside we've seen all season long.
Yeah, absolutely might be. So we'll have yet another draw here in the neutral zone, and we'll see if maybe. I mean, we haven't seen as many set plays in the neutral zone as we would see in the past, but that was a beautiful saucer pass to gain the zone.
Absolutely. Let's see what hREDS can do here on this initial attack. Drop back to Domi. Nicky dangles all the way around. Quick pass in front. Big stop there by Roysto. Incredible puck movement from hREDS, and a great opportunity to start off this game.
And a great job from the defense of Granit there to not allow that secondary opportunity, because Roysto, in making that first initial save, slid way out of position.
hREDS still in on the attack here. Benito, goes goal line, takes the hit, unable to hold on to it. Ekin forced to drop back. We'll see a lot of those drop back passes. A lot of lateral movements. Zoe trying to hold on to this one as well. Takes the hit. That one swept in front where Benito is able to pick it up. And down the other way again come hREDS. Great poke check though on the back pressure from Antonio Manning. hREDS losing just one game so far this postseason. They are 7-1. One loss, of course, in overtime to Granit earlier in this series. KingOfApes to wait out the opposition. Strong start, though, for Granit in terms of protecting their blue line set.
Yeah, not a lot of easy entries for hREDS right there. I mean, case in point, they're doing a good job collapsing around the puck carrier, not allowing the support to get there either or have those passing lanes. That's exactly what they need to do to slow down the assault that hREDS will get once they gain the zone. The easiest way to defend against a team is to stop them from entering that zone.
This puck down below the goal line. Contested. It will be Fury, unable to come away with it. Already halfway just about now through this first period. Manning battling Domi. Good hit there by Ekin. Takes a hit himself. Brandon unable to hold on to the puck. Great patience on display there. Handoff to Domi. Bit too much traffic to deal with. Good poke check there as well. Benito trying to keep things going. Captain this hREDS squad. KingOfApes unable to hold the line. They'll be forced to reset. Puck dumped in. Job there by Laminins to take that one away. And again, now Granit going to try to get something going down the other way. Ekin, the head of steam. Laminins joining the play. With patience by Domi. Trying to hold on to it in the double team. Villapoika was there to help take it away. Now ahead of steam. Down the other way for Villapoika. Pass in front and a good kick save.
Great save by Roysto there, as that was a rush opportunity that hREDS really wanted to kind of capitalize on. And it was a good look there in tight, and Roysto up to the challenge.
Granit again trying to get something going in the attacking zone. Antonio Manning's shot attempt was knocked to the wayside. Fight forward in the neutral zone. hREDS had it momentarily. And again, the battle between the blue lines right now, the focus. Good job by Roysto to get that one away. Scramble for the puck, knocked back into the hREDS zone. Antonio Manning unable to come up with it. Fury on for Ekin, tried to go forehand, took the hit. Puck shoved ahead to Nicky Dangles. There's Villapoika with him. On the back, quick wrap, they score! The puck found its way to Benito in front, and the captain strikes first for the defending champions. All smiles for hREDS.
And just like that, it happens in an instant. Once that down low cycle gets set up, they waste no time, and that happened so quickly I didn't even necessarily pick it up on the replay. It was the wrap animation, but it just came right to Benito, who tapped that one home. Not a whole lot Roysto can do on that. And towards the end of this first period, despite a good performance from Granit so far, it will be hREDS taking that lead 1-0.
A big moment there. We hit the final minutes of the first period here in game number 5. Puck down low, loose puck now. Kick back to the point, 1 second to go, no time for Lehman, and so that will do it for the opening 20 minutes. hREDS took him a little bit, but they found the breakthrough. We'll get another look at it here with Benito scoring the goal.
Yeah, it was just kind of right when they set up that cycle, and that was I see what happened as he started the wrap. It looks like the defensive skill stick sort of knocked his stick away from the puck, so the momentum of the puck still carried through. It acted like a pass directly to Benito, who made no mistake from there as Roysto sliding over to cover short side on the wrap chance. Bit of an unfortunate break for Granit, But overall, I liked their period. They didn't register a shot, but defensively, they were really doing a good job not allowing hREDS to get established. I think this is the closest time on attack differential that we've really seen so far. Usually, hREDS will have, past 2 minutes by this point with, Granit still sub 1 minute. So it's a good start. And again, it's unfortunate that they did allow that goal, but they got to keep playing the way they are on the defensive side of things. And I think if they do that, some of the offense will come, as long as they don't allow themselves to fall into that trap of looking for a specific chance, because hREDS will be all over that type of hockey. You're going to have to keep throwing different looks at them, keep them on their toes, and, something that they're not expecting might be the thing that goes in.
Second period underway. We'll see how Granit respond to giving up that opening goal. Benito trying to hold on to this one. There's hREDS right back in on the attack. Again, they love to work the puck down low. They're as ruthlessly efficient as perhaps any team in the competitive sixes seen today. Scramble forward in the corner. Ekin is pass to Flex. It's hREDS right back in on the attack thanks to Nicky Dangles. Pass in front. Intercepted. Granit now trying to go back down the other way. And those drop passes. Trying to find any bit of space. hREDS tightening up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely tightening up, and they're starting to get a bit more of a break-ins of their own here and a bit more sustained zone times. That's the dangerous pass.
KingOfApes drops back for Benito. Chance for Villapoica. Big save there by Roysto. Had to go all out to keep that one out of the back of the net. Huge moment there. hREDS might not be done. Furion able to take that one away at the last moment.
Yeah, right back in on the attack. The killer instinct, you can really see it. They got that opening goal. All of a sudden, they sense blood in the water. They're going for it.
Loose puck again, recovered by Nicky Dangles. Villapoica. And lead things down the other way. Runs into traffic and a little bit of trouble as well. But again, solid defensive effort for the most part from Granit, but still struggling to get that offensive side of things going.
Yeah, and that's kind of the biggest issue right now, where they were getting some zone entries, not getting shots because of it. They're struggling to do so right now. They go for the dump and chase. Beautiful chop around the net from Nicky Dangles.
Benito gets it back from Villapoica. Threw one on. Nearly caught Roysto cheating there from the looks of it. Good attempt. Good look again. He has the lone goal. They tried that quick outlet to Ekin. Not a bad thing to try. Chance again on the short side. Benito still has it down low. KingOfApes hands it off for Domi. Great quick passing there. Puck into a dangerous area. Again, knocked away at the last moment. Granit still playing with fire here as they try to contain this hREDS attack. Antonio man, and that little spin resulted in the puck going into the slot. Nobody there to make him pay for it. Laminen's over the line, immediately intercepted by Benito. Villapoica couldn't recover the follow-up pass, and just like that, under 6 minutes to go here in the second period, fast and furious pace to this one as Ekin nearly broke through the line.
Oh, that is a heartbreaker. That's two close calls for Ekin to kind of get some space as he's getting chased down by someone who's unappreciative of that shot after the whistle. But yeah, it was that first kind of slap pass opportunity that just hit a body in the neutral zone. That one, too, that just goes off sides. It's unfortunate for Granit because their chances are few and far between right now. They need every little bit of help that they can get.
That puck down low. Goes back up. Let's see what Zovi can do. Does have Ekin with him. A little bit too much traffic again. Try and deal with Villapoica. Again, leading goal scorer in the regular season. His second season with hREDS. And at one point we're like, okay, hey, let's see what he does, right? He takes a step up from a middle of the road kind of team. How will he fill in? He might be a shoo-in to win Forward of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just been phenomenal here as Granit looking to get a bit of pressure, but again, snuffed out almost immediately at the blue line.
Again, the second semi-final that we have here in the Elite Division. Earlier in this broadcast, Frölunda one more time punching their ticket to the final, and they score! What a play for Granite Gaming. Zovi ties it up with just a minute and 20 to go here in the second period. A gigantic goal for Granit.
Absolutely massive. What a pass by Antonio as well. Down low, finding Zovi all alone, and Zovi, clutch goal scorer extraordinaire, just seems to keep coming up for these goals in massive moments for Granit Gaming right there. Absolutely huge to tie this one up late in the second as hREDS got that opening goal late in the first. That's a huge bit of momentum for Granit, the stepping stone they need to starting to, to maybe take the advantage in this game, work their way back in this series. But hREDS, fast and furious, back on the attack.
That one knocked away. Final 10 seconds. Maybe one more rush here for Granit. It's Furion down in the corner in front. Great chance for Ekin. Puck still loose in the slot. And it is. Faye is able to find it as time expires. Sin, as much as we talk about, all right, for London hREDS, maybe one more time. Granit's not quite going away just yet.
No, they're not. And that's kind of what they've been doing here in the last few games, especially. It's been a much tighter affair than it was in the first two games, where hREDS got two shutouts, 4-0, 2-0, and then they win 3-2 in a close game that Granit really had a chance, and then of course the overtime that Granit was able to stave off elimination. But you're seeing the threat of hREDS really coming to life, and surprisingly low registered shots, because again, Granit is simply just defending a bit better. That will, or I should say can, lead to some more offense, but they need to keep on it. And this was such a great play, avoiding that stick check, and Zovi got in all alone on the goaltender, and not too often that he's going to miss from there. Still one more period, though. Granit has a lot of work to do, but we heard it from the interview. They're going to take it one game at a time, and at this point, take it one period at a time as well. Win this period, and you extend your playoff lives.
This is it. All or nothing for Granit Gaming. Win this series continues. Lose. hREDS, our defending champions, will go to their third straight final here in the Elite Division. They were the team to break up the Big Two, and an opportunity for Antonio Manning. Puck still alive in a dangerous area at its own goal. Ekin will get credit. Granit Gaming grab the lead. It's 2-1.
Absolutely massive. Sometimes you need a bounce, and it all comes from putting that puck to the net, pucks and bodies to the net. You hear us talking about that all the time. It works, and now hREDS on the back foot here. They're going to have to really push to get back into this one now.
Huge moment there. I believe it was Domi that had it poked off of his tape as he picked it up in front. 2 unanswered goals now for Granit. Again, they upset our 2 seed in Sawo Esports to get here. They are not going to go down without a fight. They had a really slow start. Outscored 6-0 over the first 2 games. They have made this a competitive series. That one off the pipe. So close to this game being tied one more time. Ekin gets absolutely floored there by Domi. A little bit of revenge for the last goal that we saw scored, and all of a sudden now, you can almost tell just from the actions on the ice, the intensity being picked up a notch. A save by Roysto. What a way to start off this third period to the opening 6 minutes.
Fast and furious is an absolute understatement. The switch has been flipped here. The pace of this just got so much crazier as hREDS looking for an in-tight opportunity. Benito attempting the shot that was blocked away.
Here's Antonio Manning. A lot of traffic. Throws one on. Faye's able to handle that one with the paddle. Just played it out to the corner boards here. It's hREDS right back in on the attack. Delayed call. Villapoica was tripped. Will hREDS need this man advantage? Good movement, one-timer, glove save by Roysto. It will indeed be the first power play of the game for hREDS. Laminans to the box for this tripping call.
And the third best power play in the regular season. I believe they're 33% here in the postseason. This is a deadly power play. Granit has been defending well so far in this one, but with the man advantage, hREDS is hungry. You got to be careful here.
12 minutes to go in regulation of game number 5. That one broken up again and now cleared out. Again, we will stick with the series for as long as is necessary. Whether it ends here or goes 7, of course, there may as well be some Pro Division coverage as well as their semifinals currently underway. Nicky Dangles hits the post. Another great opportunity for hREDS. Benito tried to shovel one on. Furion able to get that one up to Ekin. They clear. It is worth noting at this stage, those two pro semifinals, Reality Check have tied up their series against Stargazing at 2 apiece. And right now, Jypi Vaskala, a 3-1 lead in the second period. They are threatening to take a 3-2 lead. That is the series that we're expecting to jump into. But depending on what happens here with Granit, we might not be able to get the coverage before Yip could win that series. Another call right as they get back to 5-on-5. Sin, this time it'll be Ekin taking a seat for that interference call.
That's a tough one, but it's, you know, that's kind of how it's been all year. Those kind of little bumps, slightly away from the puck, slightly late. They've been called pretty much every single time. So Granit, once again, back to the kill. Their energy bars are also depleted. This is getting more and more dangerous for them.
The D-to-D movement here. KingOfApes for Domi. Domi again, good D-to-D work. Broken up, traffic in front, loose puck. Roysto gets down to the butterfly to keep that one out.
You know, scary moment right there as that one fell right just inside the blue paint. He had to kind of come out a little ways, a little bit more than he would have liked to in a situation like that to get the cover, but it's just a survival time right now for Granit as hREDS throwing everything they can.
Big shot again from the high slot. KingOfApes diving down. Frustration there. He didn't get all that shot.
Yeah, and know that feeling all too well as someone back there. You're looking to just lay an absolute bomb from the point, and it just doesn't quite work out for you.
That's in front. Another great chance. Just stifled as Domi unable to hold that puck in. See what they can do. One-timer again broken up. Knocked off the man in front. 40 seconds to go on the man advantage.
That was a bit of a sloppier play on the left side of the ice from Granit. They got beat wide extremely early as they entered the zone. That could have been a lot worse.
Final 10 seconds to go on the man advantage. Here's KingOfApes. His shot blocked by the traffic. One more time. Benito wheels out. Shot scores! With 7 minutes to go, the captain has his second of the game. We're tied at 2.
I don't think that's a power play goal as the man was getting out of the box, but once again, we see a power play influence goal there as hREDS. We're swarming, just like a pack of wolves, closing around the net, looking to get that one home. Benito fires it, somehow finds a way past Roysto, and we're tied with 7 minutes left. Buckle your seatbelts. This one's going down to the wire.
Granit Gaming trying to keep their season alive. The lead disappears. Let's see what the next chapter here has for these two teams. An unpredictable series, to say the least. Antonio Mannon's pass just broken up. Here's Nicky Dangles. Gonna work his way around, goes to KingOfApes. Now Domi. He treads right back in on the attack after scoring just a few moments ago to tie this game up. Good D-to-D work. The shot deflects. Antonio Mannon able to knock it down. Ekin he's able to bring it close enough to the line, and it goes back to the neutral zone, but a dump and chase here from hREDS. They win it back. Nicky Dangles' pass just intercepted. Granit need to find a way to get the ice a little bit more tilted in their favor here. They're being hemmed into their own zone. Final 2 minutes of regulation. Game number 5. Here is Furion. Let's see what he can do. Nowhere to go. A loose puck nearly kept in. Furion has it back one more time, and we'll like the drop back for Laymanitz. He dumps over to the left, just over the glass, and we'll have a stoppage in place in just 58 seconds to go.
You can see just how hectic it's been for Granit right there. That's pretty far off of the aim that you want to do. Throw that dump and chase. You want to kind of aim for the high glass in the corner there, and he was almost in the bench, so a little bit of sweat going on for Granit here, and how can you blame him? This hREDS attack has just been insane.
Sovi unable to hold on to that one. We never want to say it because you never quite know. Feels like next goal will win. It's just a matter of what that will do to this particular series. Will it continue it? Will it end it? Furion. That one up for Zovi. Again, the back-checking pressure's there. Antonio Mann times it well with Zovi. Here's Ekin. Bumped off the puck by Villapoica, but one bump too many. Power play coming up for Granit Gaming with 22 seconds to go here in regulation.
Yeah, maybe a bit of nerves for both of these teams right now. That was definitely a bit of an overzealous play coming out from Villapoica, who will sit, and this is the last minute real time. These last 22 seconds. really going to extend this power play a bit, and what a time for it to come. Granite Gaming in that aggressive set. They got something in mind.
Off the draw, though, Benito wins it, gets it back, and clears back to center. 15 seconds to go. Laminens, Akin, Antonio Mannin, loose puck in the slot. Zovi has a chance. Laminen's blocker saved by FaZe. Now the puck thrown on. Still a scramble now. Zovi, 1 second to go. Zovi's there, and he makes the save. Overtime coming up here in Game 5. So close yet so far for Granite Gaming, right at the death.
Oh my goodness, that was a few sort of chances for Granite there. I think maybe only one registered shot out of all. That was when Laminens crept into the play, but they just kept collapsing as the time ticked down, looking for their opportunity. And hREDS in survival mode. FaZe had to be big right there, and there was just maybe a little bit more time. Perhaps Zovi, could have maybe snuck that one a 5-hole or had a bit more leeway to move with the puck. Nonetheless, this one is headed to overtime, and hREDS probably, getting a bit more than they bargained for, perhaps than they thought they would when they started this game off with that opening goal. As we're seeing that game-tying goal going through the 5-hole of Roysto. That was great bumps in the slot, but the shot on just kind of found its way into the back of the net, and this is what the ECL playoffs is all about. Next goal wins, still a power play coming up for Granite, still a chance to extend their lives here in the playoffs. They're gonna need a big marker here.
Minute and a half to go on this power play. Can they take advantage? Layman's trying to keep it in. Benito able to send it out. Nicky Dangles gonna try to chase this one down. Furion, though, able to win that foot race. Pass again cleared out. KingOfApes for Nicky Dangles. Space there. Trickling wide to the right of Roysto. For Granite Gaming. Can they keep their season alive? That puck held in by Laminens. The captain unable to hold it, though. Stretch pass for Villapoika off the mark. It will go down for icing. We are back, however, to 5-on-5.
Looked like a bit of miscommunication there as Villapoika was coming out of the box. They're expecting him maybe to kind of go down to that blue line. He went more towards the middle, so that saucer pass just completely missed him, and kind of a blown opportunity in exchange for Granite there, failed to win the offensive zone draw.
It is hREDS back in control here. Big moment in that Pro Series matchup. The Arctic had just come back from 3-1 down to tie it late in the third against Yippee Vaskala. Again, a series we will join in progress, should this be the only game of this series that we have to cover here tonight. Domi has it. Now down in the corner, Villapoika. Kicks it right back to him into the slot. Benito has both goals for hREDS. And great movement here. Poke check by Antonio Mannin. Can't get it out. Brutal turnover. Benito the save. Loose puck in. Roysto is able to cover.
That was a secondary look for Domi. Just tried to scoop that one home on the rebound. Maybe looking for the 5-hole there, but Roysto didn't budge. Makes huge saves. Yeah, here comes that hREDS attack, and Granite once again struggling to get that puck out of the zone.
Got a shot there. We find its intended target. Here's Antonio Mannin. His pass off the mark as well. Granite need to figure something out. A few too many unforced errors here to start this overtime. Boyka has that one knocked loose. Furion again can't hold it. Nicky Dangles now. Granite in control, and again, right there, not much you can do about that. It just bounces away from him. Benito, excellent dump and chase. Villapoika loses it on the end boards. Granite trying to find their way into the offensive zone. There's the dump and chase. Domi handles it well, but the pass a little bit off the mark. Furion, great block by Benito. Antonio Mannin for Zovi, trying to drive the net. Laminens, Ekin shot, saved by FaZe, and a face-off in the hREDS zone.
Like to see that coming out from Ekin, just kind of a shot from the corner boards there. That was a nice play by Zovi, trying to drive the net's what he does so well in overtime. Just always able to get to the net there, but at the end there was just Ekin forcing one on.
That shot may have clipped the blocker. Puck stays out. Ekin trying to force the agenda here. Antonio Mannin also up there. Forechecking pressure is on. This Punk dumped all the way down, no icing. 7.5 to go, overtime number 1. Sudden death rules, of course, not just in the playoffs, but in the regular season as well, but it feels that much more special here in the playoffs. Another good dump and chase attempt. Antonio Mannin trying to weave his way out of traffic, gets it to Ekin down low. He loses it off of the contact, wins it back. Antonio, Ekin, both of them still there. It's KingOfApes who finds it below the goal line, turns it over, pass in front, and again the traffic gets the better of the offense. No icing there, perhaps controversially. Didn't see if it deflected. Perhaps off of a Granit player. Play on. Zovi and Ekin look at Granit Gaming. They're playing to win. They're certainly not playing to lose. Furion steps around, gets it down low. Wraparound was a bit too delayed. Villapoica for Benito. Could he be the hat-trick hero to send hREDS back to the finals? Circles back. Looking for that bit of space, looking for an opening. Trying to get someone to overcommit, and there it is. D to D work. The shot deflects just wide off the attempt from Nicky Dangles. Benito's shot denied. Villapoica tried to shovel one off the back of the leg, and it went all the way back to the neutral zone. We are in the real-time 2 minutes. The end of this OT. Furion will find Ekin, gets it back. Try to go back down low. KingOfApes there to take it away. Now Domi, 1:30 to play. Granit putting up a fight to keep their season alive. Domi, a little bit of trouble, gets out of it. Nicky Dangles can't hold on to it. The fight for it as it crosses into the zone. The spin move from Antonio Mannin, and the puck down below the goal line. Antonio's still there. Big fight for the puck. Villapoica involved. Domi as well. He comes up with it. Pass over to that left-hand side. KingOfApes joining the rush. As well as Domi. Both defenders jumping up in the play this time out. Interesting moment here. Benito nearly walked his way in. KingOfApes shot on. Goes all the way back to the point and back to the neutral zone.
Yeah, kind of a safe play by Nicky Dangles. Didn't want to risk perhaps, letting that get around him, so just opted to take the possession into the neutral zone and reset, and they're right back in.
Final 35 seconds here now of this first OT. There's hREDS in control. Again, our defending champions from last season. 1 win away from being able to do what has seemingly been the impossible, and that is to find back-to-back champions. Something always seems to go wrong for the defending champions. hREDS trying to break that curse. Here's Nicky Dangles. 6 seconds to work with. What a poke check by Furion to break it up. Trying to avoid that turnover. Loose puck. Zovi has it. Double overtime coming up here in Game 5.
That was extremely well played right there by Furion to cut him, cut across into the boards before he could really get into the zone to really limit what he could do once he gained the zone. The stretch pass across the ice in the neutral could have put someone offside, so Nicky Dangles just kind of had to try to power his way in. Excellently read by Furion, who then did a good job to kill the remainder of the clock as well. Survive until this second overtime. Granite season being extended, at least in this game. If they can find that goal, they will earn the right to play at least a game 6 here, but they need that goal. I've liked what I've seen, from them when they have got their zone time, a bit less hesitant to pull the trigger, a bit more decisive in their decision makings, more decisiveness to shoot the puck, a quicker pass here and there, and not overpassing either. So Granite is locked in. This is, really in the best situation to extend this series even further, but at the same time, you're still going up against hREDS. That relentless pressure, the attack possibilities, Villapoica, Nicky Dangles, these are scary, scary guys to go up against. But Granite, they're up to the task here. We'll see what they can do in this second overtime.
Overtime number 2 is underway. Sudden death, next goal wins. Will it be the series extender or the series ender? That's the question that we await the answer to here. Is Granit Gaming in control? Again, their first season, technically as a unit, one of the biggest stories. Both defenders and the right wing Antonio Mannin, previously up Färjestad, they depart, rejoin the team that they once played for here in Vestapampa, now rebranded as Granit Gaming. Very interesting, of course, and again, perhaps the biggest story. Huge moment, of course. Both Färjestad and Granit still making it to the semifinal. As we have a result from that Pro Division game, Arctic comes back from 3-1 down to win it 4-3 in overtime. Arctic 1 win away from the Pro Finals as they take a 3-2 series lead on Jyväskylä. So again, we will continue to follow on with the Pro semifinals as well, but we don't know how much longer our Elite Division semifinal coverage will continue, especially if our first game of the day here, Game 5, goes to double OT, and who knows how much longer it could go, and we'll be here until there's the winner. Apes, a little bit of trouble. That one rocketed back towards the neutral zone. Already almost halfway through this second overtime. We've seen it. Granit not afraid to play for the win rather than just playing not to lose. You can't play not to lose against hREDS. Zobi tries to throw one on. And now it's Villapoika, head of steam. That drop pass, though, all the way back to the hREDS zone.
That's unfortunate for them, as Granit has been doing a good job of at least keeping this in the neutral zone, not allowing hREDS to set up. That's a frustrating moment. The second they're going to gain the line. Errant pass, speaking of which, another one right there. KingOfApes and Domi failing to connect right here. So right now it's feeling like a bit of momentum's in Granit's favor. We'll see if they can capitalize on that or if hREDS can shift that back.
Here is Nicky Dangles. Benito, the shot high and wide on the blocker side. KingOfApes back for Benito and another save. This time Roysto did get a piece of that one. Here's Villapoika. Still battling for it. Laminens going to turn that one over. Great hip check by Ekin. And the loose puck corralled by Antonio Mannin. Ekin back down to him. A little bit too much traffic to deal with. So there's KingOfApes. Nicky Dangles back there to really help things out. Villapoika nearly weaved his way through. Interesting moment there. Here is Antonio Mannin one more time. Back to the point. Backhand on. A ballerina, the big spin. But that one stopped by FaZe.
Yeah, I feel like Layman's got to be a bit frustrated with that scenario. That was a perfect play. They drew everyone down low. Kick back up top for Layman for the 1T. It's just he didn't quite have the angle to pull it off. So we got that awkward spinning backhand. That could have been a great chance for Granit. Unfortunately gone by the wayside. And here come hREDS.
Puck down low. Benito has it. Back to the point. KingOfApes and now Domi. He dangles. Villapoika tried that short side, still has it. Loose puck recovered. Nervous moment there for any goaltender where you just have to try and wait out the player directly in front of you.
Yeah, and it's so tough because you know someone's sitting there on that back door. You know from that tight, if that's a rocket pass, it could still get through. It's so tough to just stay there on your angle, but he did just that. Played it perfectly.
3 minutes to go in overtime number 2. We've called this Therapy Thursdays in the past. Definition of insanity, of course, just hey, keep doing the same things, but these teams have shown that willingness to adapt. So I don't know if it lives up to that hype or that description necessarily, but you do wonder how much longer this can possibly go on as Roysto makes another kick save. Ekin, good recovery, real time, 2 minutes again. Here's Zobi, toe drag, couldn't get that shot off. Good attempts. Still fighting for it down low. hREDS, though, able to maintain possession, at least for the moment. KingOfApes taking the hit there from Ekin. Zobi, the shot, stopped by FaZe. Touch pass now, Villapoika. Great job by Zobi to win it back. Granit building some more offensive momentum here. Ekin's pass intercepted. Dangerous. Here's Villapoika as one man to beat. Holds up, backhand, scores! Villapoika wins it for hREDS. They're going back to the finals for the 3rd year in a row.
All it takes is a tiny, tiny window, and Villapoika exploits it. What a nice bit of L skating right there. Pulling it over, getting onto the backhand, and beating Roysto on that blocker side to send his team back to the finals, the 3rd season straight. hREDS will be there. My goodness, just what an overtime right there. Villapoika showing us what he... Yeah, I mean, showing us
disgusting.
Why? That's why he was the leading goal scorer in the regular season. Skating like that, the ability like that, making something out of seemingly what could have been nothing. He forced Lehmanins to over-pursue with that beautiful bit of skating with the defensive skill stick, dodged the poke, got to the middle, and turned it onto the backhand at the same time. That is not easy whatsoever. And gotta say, that win for hREDS absolutely wasn't easy. Granit gave them a run for their money. As this series went on, Granit got better. You gotta wonder if they perhaps somehow managed to get the split in the first 2 games by kind of some miracle. This could have had a much, much different outlook and implication, but GG's all the way around. hREDS going back to the finals, and looking forward to seeing what Granit's going to be able to do next season.
We said the same thing for Färjestad that we're going to have to say for Granit Gaming right now. What a season.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the expectations were a little bit higher for them than it was for their FBK counterparts as we get one more look at the series-ending goal.
Jesus.
Just
Oh.
disgusting.
It's just that the understanding of the mechanics and the command that he has over his build right there, that's just on full display. It's not super complicated. There's no fancy deke. He's not using that left bumper whatsoever. It's just understanding how the player moves, moving it into that perfect position to not only dodge the defender but open up a shooting lane as well. Just what a way to end it. Just insane series all the way around.
Again, we now have our final. It is set as you get a look at a few more goals, but again, to reiterate for Granit Gaming, a phenomenal season, tremendously done to get to the semifinals, but as we all kind of expected, and maybe not necessarily as we knew, but the levels within the elite division itself is there's just that different level between these two teams. Sin, there it is official. Still gonna update that number for hREDS for the semifinal series, but Sin, it is confirmed. hREDS for Lunda for the 3rd year in a row. Our tagline has essentially been expect the unexpected. And while we are getting the same final now for the 3rd season in a row, a friendly reminder, 2 seasons ago, Frölunda swept hREDS. Last season, hREDS swept Frölunda. So as we move forward to this final, again, a 2-day event on March 4th and 5th. Truly, no idea what to expect here. hREDS, defending champions, the #1 seed. Only the 2nd team to take away that #1 seed from Frölunda in the regular season. hREDS, the most goals scored. But yet Frölunda ends up right back here. They've looked as dominant as ever. I do not know how this rubber match is going to go. While it would have been exciting to see just what exactly would have happened if one of the teams not expected to take that jump were able to do it, like hREDS did a few seasons ago, the fact that we're getting this matchup again, the fact that we are going to get to see just who is the superior team here. One win apiece comes down to the finals on March 4th and March 5th. Absolutely unreal.
Yeah, there's just the levels of implications that are in this series and everything that can happen. I mean, expectations have to just completely go out the window. I mean, if hREDS had swept Granit like they were initially intending to do and what they thought they could do, what they thought they should do, perhaps you say, yeah, probably hREDS going to repeat, be the first team to repeat. But it's always a whole new series. And Granit Gaming, our 7th seed, who took out Sabo Gaming, our 2 seed, and then towards the end really put up a good fight against hREDS. They just couldn't find that goal in overtime. It could have been a heck of a lot different. And same thing on the side of Frölunda. Yeah, they swept Havu, but from their own mouth, that was not a sweep series with how close it was. I mean, looks can be deceiving at times, and at the end of the day, it's about the results. It's about, what happens, and we're gonna have an absolute doozy of a series here in the finals, and I simply can't wait.
The Elite Division is set. However, our broadcast tonight is not done. We will switch over now to our 2nd tier, our Pro Division coverage, as you get a look here at the end of the last game. But again, Pro Division coverage is on deck as Reality Check have battled back, our number 1 seed in the Pro Division. Reality Check have battled back to force Game 7 against Stargazing as well. We'll be picking up our coverage. It's Game 6, Yippee Voskala and Arctic. That'll be coming up in just a few moments here. So again, we have our Elite Division finals set. We are going to join these games in progress for our Pro Division to find out which 2 teams will battle for the right to be called an Elite Division club next season. So don't go anywhere. We hope you stick with us. We'll be back after a brief word here from our sponsors and a bit of a changeover with the graphics package. Again, we'll be right back.